And right at that moment, I stood up. It was like God preparing me, dude, for the onslaught. And I walked with my mom. And I was going right up to her car. And right when I was walking up to the car, this black Suburbans, like a couple of them, several of them, just almost ran over my toes. That's how close. And the guy he cracked the door open with a pistol. I got video of it. I posted it. And
so let's jump. So you're stepping away from McAfee. You've kind of highlighted this a little bit as we've been conversating, but obviously at some point you start getting targeted by the FBI as well, when they had also kind of targeted McAfee at the time.
Yeah. So I hear that John McAfee is arrested and thrown in a Spanish prison. And I just know, bro, I mean, think about the psychology. Like I've already had a terrible, terrible interaction with the FBI over the last 15 years or 12 years, maybe. I can't remember. But with them sending letters, they're going to destroy my career, all this stuff, just to discredit me to go testify in the trial, which, by the way, I testified as a SEAL or as an honorably retired SEAL, which totally destroyed their whole attempt to destroy me. Anyways, that's a side note. Well, I can imagine they were still angry. Right? This is not to take the responsibility off of what happened with McAfee, with the crypto and the touting and the insider trading. But think about it. 2 freaking major politically driven interactions with the FBI. And I'm at the center of them. This one with McAfee, charged with the same things. Anyways, having known what I've been through here with the FBI, and then knowing the FBI just arrested McAfee and threw him in a Spanish prison, and then having the FBI call my cell phone and want to speak to me, bro, I was like, I'm out of here, dude.
Yeah.
I would rather die than go through what I had to go through with the FBI. What I had to deal with, I don't wish on any person, man. People just don't know. And so I was like, c'est la vie. I'm out of here. Buy a yacht, do this, sell around. And so I started selling around. In Spain, I didn't buy a yacht, but I went to Spain and sailed around in Ibiza, all over Muay Thai in Thailand.
The hard fucking place to be doing Muay Thai too.
Bro, my Muay Thai instructor, he has cuts all over his face. And he's like, bah, bah, bah. And I'm like, oh, geez, what? And, kick, slap, kick, across the face. Dude, it's over. And I asked my instructor, I was like, dude, how many fights do you have, man? And he was like, 300.
Yeah.
And it's like, what was that, 1 a week? What's going on here? I mean, they're fighting. They're fighting for chickens, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm like, people think they're hard going to the UFC. Dude, these guys are like next level. Cuts all over. His face looked like dude, it's like a hamburger all sewed up. And I mean, he was fast, lightning fast. And I was too big. I was too slow, too big, but it was a hell of a workout, hell of a good time. And I needed it to focus in. And it was painful, hard, difficult. I loved it. Get my smoothie afterwards.
I hear the stories too. You get there and they're like, you got to run. Like everyone's running.
You're running all the time. Yeah. Dude, you're running all the time. It's to harden up your shins.
Yeah.
And so then I do mercenary stuff in Colombia, El Salvador, Nicaragua, all around. I'm all around the place, but I'm running from myself. I'm running from God. I'm running from the law. And you can run from the law for a while. You're going to get caught. You can run from yourself your whole life, and you may not get caught. It'll catch up to you, but you can't run from God because he's in every dark corner. And like I said, it's not about going to church. It's not about, you being righteous and flushing all your stuff down the toilet. That comes after you feel the love. That comes after the greatest high of this life, even more high than what I've experienced after battles and any drug high. And I've had a lot of drug highs. And there's no high that I felt after God met me. But I had to go on the run first.
What was that situation? What was that situation like when you were on the run? In terms of kind of your mindset and everything as well. Did it feel kind of like the walls closing in, or were you always like, what was your kind of next steps in terms of what you were looking at there?
Yeah, man. Yeah. I would be selling, around Ibiza, in all Mallorca, everywhere. And I would feel like I was in solitary confinement because you're physically free, but you're mentally and spiritually bound in chains. So you're not physically free. You may be like moving around and seeing things and wow, that's beautiful. That's beautiful water, beautiful people, Spain, all these Thailand, all these places. But you're just a slave, man. You're trapped because they got you. And at any moment going through customs, you could be arrested any moment. And if you're arrested in Thailand, you're going to be sitting in a Thailand, a terrible place for a long time before they transfer you. You're always thinking about this. So you're never getting a good night's sleep. You're always disheveled. You're always thinking about worst case scenarios, all this stuff. And so, man, it was hard to be on the run from yourself, from the law, from God. It's a terrible road, man.
Mm-hmm.
And because it's coming.
Yeah.
And you just don't know how it's going to happen. You don't know if you turn yourself in, or you don't, or you just come home and just roll the dice. And so eventually, man, I came home. I was missing my mom. I'm a mama's boy.
I was gonna say coffee with your mom. I know that was stuff term.
Yeah, I wanted to get coffee with my mom and to kind of tell her that what's going to happen. I got my visa to Bali and my tickets and everything. And I remember taking my mom out for coffee and I just wanted to tell her like, bye. I just wanted to tell her, Mom, I'm sorry. Like I never thought of my life ending like this. I thought I was going to be a Master Chief in the SEALs and do these great things and always stay part of the military. But life comes sometimes and just dumps you, man. Like Count of Monte Cristo, my favorite speech in Count of Monte Cristo. He says, life is a storm, my friend. You will bask in the sunlight one moment, be shattered upon the rocks the next. But it is what you do when that storm comes that makes you a man. You must shout into that storm as you did in Rome. Do your worst, for I will do mine, and the fates will know you, as Edmond Dantes. And that's my life. Do your worst, for I will do mine. But sometimes that storm feels like it's too much. It's overwhelming. And so I was coming home to say bye to my mom and go to Bali for the rest of my life. But honestly, man, I was hoping that there would be some kind of intervention.
I was going to ask, so even that time when you were operating as a mercenary, some of the situations you were at as well. It's funny when I had Danny on too, because we talked about what is
Daniel good dirty. I was with dirty.
Yeah. We were talking about what is a mercenary? And he's like, commonly, most of the time, in the movies, they love to frame it as the shady guy with the death wish, sitting in the corner smoking a cigarette, whatever. And he's like, that often isn't. But when you were operating down there, I mean, what was the feeling, operating as a mercenary at that time when, you have all this other stuff going on too?
Well, whether you're in Dam Neck, SEAL Team 6 or Delta or just a regular SEAL like I was or Green Beret, whatever the case, you're covered and protected. Yeah. You got 9 layers of protection above you, looking at you, watching you, drones. AC-130. You're handed everything like a cake, and you're swaddled and taken care of. Dude, as a mercenary, this ain't Blackwater. That's just contracting. That's a defensive contracting position with Department of State. Mercenary, you're on your freaking own. As in, you might go to a dungeon for the rest of your life, like Daniel almost did, man. Daniel's the man, bro. Dirty's the man. And you get his book, guys.
Right there. Yeah.
Mercenary, Daniel Corbett, man. That's my man right there. I went on a couple little rig digs with him. He's a great guy. And you might serve some time in a dungeon prison. You may never see the light of the day. And nobody's gonna claim you. America's not gonna claim you. And so doing that stuff was high risk with little reward, even if it's $400K cash. It's little reward. Because you're in a very offensive posture, whether it's kidnapping a guy for another government. I'm not saying kidnapping a good person, like a little girl or something. I'm talking about kidnapping a bad player, who's exiled himself, or serving a guy some ice cream. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Forever, lights out, which is easier than kidnapping. But whether those two, and I'm not going to go into them too much, but whether those things are very, very dangerous, high risk things, and you're in another country that may not know you're there, and if they do, they can easily sideswipe you as well. So it's very risky stuff. A lot of planning, a lot of that is the absolute most nerve-wracking stuff that I've done. And and so the SEALs didn't hold a candle to, because the SEALs, you're protected. The Marines, you're protected. Blackwater, you're protected. You got armored cars. You got 30 pipe-hitting monkeys with sawed-off shotguns and AKs and PKMs and AK-47s. You know what I'm saying? Like, but mercenary, it's you, 2 other guys, sitting there and with a plan, and you're gonna make a lot of money, but you got to go do some balls-y stuff. You gotta do the big boy stuff, you know.
Yeah.
You know,
relying on intel. That's
relying on stuff, and getting caught is not an option. Getting caught as a mercenary is not an option. It's just it's not even in your. It's like the last ditch plan is to off yourself. Like you're not getting caught.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the plausible denial.
Yeah, because you're not getting out. You're not getting off of that one.
Yeah. So let's jump into when the FBI arrest, because I do really want to get to the conversation around that you ended up having with God. The story is like unbelievable, but how did the arrest kind of happen when they finally closed in?
Yeah, man. So I have coffee with my mom. I all of a sudden I'm like, dude, mom, somebody must be praying for me, you know? And she goes, why? And I said, well, I just had this overwhelming peace come over me, like this warm sensation. I'm thinking, what did I take? Did I take Xanax? But I'm used to everything now. Everything that I take doesn't even have effect. That's when you know you're an addict and messed up. Well, I hadn't taken anything substantial to have that feeling. And so it felt like morphine hit me. I was like, wow, everything's going to be okay, Mom. Somebody must be praying for me. And right at that moment, I stood up. It was like God preparing me, dude, for the onslaught. And I walked with my mom. I was going right up to her car. And right when I was walking up to the car, this black Suburbans, like a couple of them, several of them, just almost ran over my toes. That's how close. And the guy he cracked the door open with a pistol. I got video of it. I posted it. And it was my mom whipped out that camera. She's like, you got the tater. You got the tater. So I'm like, Mom, be quiet. Stop saying the tater. I don't even know what that means. You know, it's like confusing me. And he's pointing the gun at me, his finger on the trigger. And all I could do is like push my mom to the side and get in front of her and just raise my hands real slow and be calm as cute. I was real calm. And I was pretty relieved, because I was like, thank God, man, in this freaking nightmare. I'm tired of this. Like, I'm tired of it, dude. Because it's not like you're going to Bali to have fun. You're going to Bali. You could be surfing, doing whatever, and you're just miserable.
Yeah, you can never go back type of deal.
Because your life is just ruined. Yeah. Your life is ruined. And they know it. The FBI know it. They're going to get you anyway. There's no such thing as non-extraditionary. They laugh at that.
Yeah.
It's stupid. They just do a deal with the government. But they were tracking me the whole time. They knew I was going to Bali. They knew where I kept getting pulled out of the airport in Colombia, Medellin. Everywhere I went, they pulled me out. And I'm like, dude, what the heck, man? And every time they take my bags in the back, and I didn't know this, but they were filming everything, photographing it, sending it to the FBI, showing me exactly what I had, where I was going, I was getting tracked, Interpol, and they could have arrested me anytime.
Yeah.
So I thought it was nice of them to allow me to come back home on my own. But that's probably why they did it. They were like, okay, he's coming back home.
Easy to get you.
Instead of like trying to work a deal with the government. So I was arrested and thrown in FMC, Fort Worth, the feds. And it's basically where it's not really a level. It's where all the mental patients go and all the weirdos go. And the Tiger King was serving time there.